Hello and welcome to the news in English live from Mogadishu. With me, I am Omar Noor. The top headlines include Somali President holds talks with his Ugandan counterpart Yoweri Museveni to discuss the bilateral relations under the fight against Al-Shabaab militants. Somali government has lauded the national army for regaining the control of a strategic location in Iran from Al-Shabaab militants. Top government officials and members of the parliament have paid a visit to the front lines to boost the morale of the troops fighting against Al-Shabaab militants. Kenya says it will reopen soon the border with Somalia as the two countries agree on the cooperation of the trade and security. Ethiopian government has pumped again the Tigrayan region as the international community is putting pressure on Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed to open dialogue with the TPLF. Welcome back to the news in detail. Somali President His Excellency Hassan Sheikh Mohamud has held a meeting with his Ugandan counterpart Yoweri Museveni. Museveni has commended Somali's military operations against Al-Shabaab hours after hundreds of Al-Shabaab fighters were killed in central Somalia by the government forces. Somali President Hassan Sheikh Mohamud and his Ugandan counterpart have held the talks for the second time since last August in Kampala. In a statement, Villa Somalia, the office of the president, said the two leaders have discussed the ongoing military operations with his Ugandan counterpart Yoweri Museveni in Kampala on Monday. President Hassan Sheikh Mohamud met with Ugandan President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni of the Republic of Uganda, where they discussed Somali's ongoing fight against the international terrorists and other issues of mutual interest to both nations. Uganda is a critical partner in Somali's quest for stability and prosperity, Villa Somalia said in the statement. Somali leader also sought support and cooperation with other countries in the region, including Kenya and Ethiopia, which has visited in recent weeks. The remarks of Yoweri Museveni came hours after Somali army claimed to have killed 250 Al-Shabaab fighters in a joint military operations with civilians in the African Union forces in Hiran region. The offensive on Monday was part of the ongoing operation, which has so far the first time seen involvement of civilians on the grand scale. Officials have said a new operation will now be launched in Middle Shabelle region as more civilians volunteer to work with the government in fighting against the Al-Shabaab militants. On Sunday, the government announced it had blocked 40 social media pages and websites affiliated with Al-Shabaab to counter Al-Shabaab propaganda spread. The African Union Transition Mission in Somalia, known as ATMIS, said on Sunday it has opened a joint military operation is centered in the country to enhance the coordination and planning with the Somali security forces during the operations against the Al-Shabaab militantes. ATMIS Force Commander Diomenda Nigeya said the center, which was opened across the AU mission areas of the responsibility, will enable the allied troops to work together. He said ATMIS personnel, Somali security forces, and partners will coordinate and plan operations at the center as contained in the ATMIS concept of operations. The concept provides this framework to guide the implementation of the gradual transfer of the responsibility to the Somali security forces and the eventual exit of the AU troops from Somalia. Nigeria said the joint forces will launch coordinated attacks against Al-Shabaab to regain the control of the entire country before the end of this year, said AMISOM in a statement. The ATMIS official said consultative meetings have been held between ATMIS and Somali security forces to reconfigure the AU mission, taking into consideration the operational priorities of the Somali security forces. Somali Deputy Minister of Defense Abdel Fattah Qasim Mahmoud said recent joint operations in Hiran and Galgaduud regions of the central Somalia have been successful. Upper house and the lower house chambers of the parliament members have been visiting the front lines to boost the morale of the troops fighting against Al-Shabaab militants in the country. Somali's Upper House Speaker, Senator Abdi Hashi Abdullahi, who is visiting Turkey, met with his Turkish counterpart Mustafa Sentop in Ankara, Turkey on Monday, where they discussed strengthening the partnership between the two countries. Hashi and Sentopoulos also discussed the strengthening cooperation between the Federal Parliament of Somalia and the Parliament of Turkey. State-owned media reported that upon his return to the country, Speaker Abdi Hashi would prepare members of the Parliamentary Committee on the Friendship of the two houses of the Somali Parliament and the Turkish Parliament, as well with the help of the lower house Speaker Adan Madobe. Speaker of the Dutch House of the Representative Farah Berganta met with the Somali lower house Speaker Sheikh Adan Mohamed Noor Madobe in Hague, the Kingdom of the Netherlands. They discussed the strengthening of the relationship between the two parliaments. The two parliamentary speakers didn't elaborate on the purpose of their foreign trips. Still, it comes at a time when the Somali President Mahmoud is also in Kampala to commemorate the 60th anniversary of the Ugandan independence from the British colony. President Hassan Sheikh Mohamud and his Ugandan counterpart Yoweri Museveni discussed regional security, economic cooperation, as well as Somali's ongoing military offensive against Al-Shabaab on Sunday in Kampala. President Museveni praised the Somali military and government for recent success against Al-Shabaab militants and promised additional support from Uganda to the largest contingent in the African Union forces in Somalia, AMISOM. That's all for our today's English news live from Mogadishu. With me, I am Omar Noor, and the entire team of the program will leave you. Bye for now.